So, there has been a report put out by Smithers, John Cross, as he's known in the media world and the social media world. This guy is a journalist for the Daily Mirror. He wrote Wenger's book, and he has called probably 0.00000.1% of Arsenal transfers and Arsenal business correct since he's been a fucking journalist. He's put out there that we have only got £45 million to spend in the summer on players to make us better. Okay, now since he's put that out there, the fan base has gone into meltdown on social media. How have we only got £45 million? Koulibaly cost double that. How are we going to buy any players? This is a disgrace. We've got Emmanuel Petit coming out saying that if we've got no money, then why did we sack Wenger? Blah, 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 fucking blah. Now, I've written down quite a lot of shit on this because I would have forgotten it. So I had to write it down because I've written down facts, figures, how much players are on, etc., etc., etc. So bear with me. It's not the most professional way to do it, but I would have forgotten and I didn't want to lie or blag my way through this, so I thought I'd write it down. Now, like I said, John Cross literally calls nothing right, especially now that all of his close allies at the football club have been sacked or left. The guy is just a troll. That's all he is. He is a troll online. Now, this story has conveniently come out the day after or 2 days after we lost to Man City. It's come out the day after or 2 days after the LA Rams lost the Super Bowl final, the Super Bowl, whatever it is, whatever. And it's all doom and gloom in the fan base. We've just lost to City. The LA Rams stands parading around thinking he's the man, blah, blah, blah. I know. Let's put a story out and rile the fan base. Now, as a journalist, a sports journalist, or any journalist, but especially a sports journalist, their job, as far as I see it, is to be the link between the club and the fans. Okay, that's how I understand it. That's how I see it. I may be delusional. I may be wrong. I may have it a million miles away from the actual truth. Okay, but what I'm looking at here is that newspapers in general are a dying breed. Nobody goes to the corner shop anymore to go and buy a newspaper. Let's be real. I'd love to see actual statistics of their actual sales of paper copies of their newspapers from pre-Sky Sports and BT Sport and Premier League to today, okay? Which is why they have their online format, okay? Now, when you look at all these online formats of these newspapers, the Daily Fail, the Sun, the Mirror, all of them, okay? They've got hundreds of thousands of followers, yet they don't seem to get any traction on their newspaper, okay? So what I mean by that is the Daily Mail, for example, or Mail Sport as it is on Twitter. You go and have a look how many followers they've got. They struggle to get 20 retweets or 20 likes, which tells me they've either paid for their followers or nobody gives a fuck. I'd go with maybe a bit of both, okay? Nobody really cares about these journalists anymore because, let's be real, the facts of the matter are that they're not there to be the link between the club and the fans, which is what they were supposed to be there for. Their job now is to clickbait stories so that people click on them, an advert pops up, and they click on the advert. That is all they're there for, to sensationalise a story and make it sound worse than it actually fucking is. Okay? Now, this story about 45 million quid. Let's take it down this road and say, yeah, that's true. Okay? Now, this is where they don't explain it. And this is where I've written this shit down. A £45 million budget actually buys you at least £90 million worth of footballers. Okay? Now, the way that works is, when you buy a player, 99.9% of the time, you do not pay up front for that player. Yes, I know there's been extreme cases. I think Juventus paid the whole lot for Ronaldo, etc., etc. And there's been others. I'm sure there's others, right? But let's say the budget is £45 million. That pays for free £30 million footballers on £80,000 a week and pays an agent for each one of them deals £1 million, because you're paying £10 million per player up front, and then the other 10 million per player is over the length of the contract. So a £30 million footballer on a 3-year contract is 3 instalments of £10 million, okay? So if you buy 3 of them, you're paying £30 million out in one hit. Bang, 3 different players, 10 million, 10 million, 10 million, okay? 80 grand a week is £4 million a year. Times that by 3 is now £12 million. Add that to the 30 million you've paid out. £4 million per player for each of the players is £12 million. You've now spent £42 million. You've got £3 million left for agent fees, 1 million a hit. I'm just rounding this up, yeah? The agent could take half of that, the agent could take 4 times that. But I'm just rounding this up or down, whatever you want to see it as, right? So this scaremongering from John Cross and other journalists, they've all done it, that we've only got £45 million is exactly that. It's scaremongering. They've hit a fan base that are weak at the moment, a fan base that are currently undergoing surgery because we've had years of shit, a fan base that have just come off of the back of a 3-1 loss to Man City, a fan base that hate on Stan Kroenke without actually realising why they hate on him, without any logic or sense behind it. It's just, oh, he's the owner, he's ploughing money into the LA Rams, let's hate him. So they've jumped on that and they've struck while the iron's hot, basically. Now, just one thing I want to say on Stan Kroenke, because a couple of people have asked me this today on Twitter, right? He keeps ploughing money into the LA Rams. Okay, when he purchased the LA Rams, he didn't purchase a self-sustaining business model. That is what Arsenal are. Arsenal are a self-sufficient business model and have been since before Stan Kroenke rocked up. The whole idea of moving to the Emirates was to be self-sufficient. Stan Kroenke came along a year after we moved to the Emirates. So this idea and this notion that he's going to suddenly throw money at it is it's just seriously deluded. Now, people need to understand that yes, he's throwing money at the LA Rams. There's no financial fair play in America. So why would he throw money at Arsenal when he brought into a self-sufficient business model? Why would he then throw money at it when we can't spend our own money properly and we've mismanaged our own money over the years to the point where we can only loan players in a January transfer window? When fans actually grasp that and get that in their head, then another thing somebody said to me today, yeah, but he's using Arsenal to fund his ventures in America. But not one person can tell me how much money he's taken out of Arsenal and ploughed into his American sport businesses. Well, I'll tell you, he's taken £6 million in 11 years out of Arsenal Football Club as advisory fees. He did it 2 years straight, 3 million, 3 million. Everyone kicked up a fuss. He hasn't done it since. Now, I then get told, yeah, but he's using us as leverage to get bank loans to fund other ventures. That's what businessmen do. The Glazers at Man United took a £500 million bank loan and secured it against the football club. Because that is an asset. Man United are an asset. They own the asset, which means they can go and get a loan off of the back of that asset. That is what businessmen do. Yeah? Stan Kroenke has not got £8 billion sat in a bank account. Stan Kroenke's got £8 billion worth of actual investments and businesses that are sat there that are generating money, but he hasn't actually got like £8 billion sat in his account. They're just assets that he owns. Okay, so people need to understand this. Now, I'm not a complete expert on all of this, but the knee-jerk and the bandwagon jumping of our fan base on Stan Kroenke is totally so far from the truth. It's just unbelievable. Listen, I would love nothing more than to have a Sheikh Mansour rock up at Arsenal or a Roman Abramovich rock up at Arsenal. But we ain't got that. And Stan Kroenke bought into a self-sustaining business model. So why would he invest? I don't get it. Anyway, fuck him, right? The fact is, £45 million can pay for 3 footballers at 30 million quid each on a 3-year deal at 80 grand a week. Now, if you add into that the fact that Lichtsteiner's going. Koscielny's going. Jenkinson's probably going. Petr Cech's going. Welbeck's going. Ramsey's going. That now frees up another £500,000 a week in wages. Okay? So that £45 million actually is more than £45 million because we can now invest in 3 footballers on 30 grand a week, £30 million on 200 grand a week. And we still have money left. Now, if you add into that as well, the likelihood is Mesut Ozil's probably going to leave in the summer. The club have made it so clear that he ain't welcome that eventually he is going to have to leave. Now, by not playing him, yes, you're decreasing his value, but that's the only way you're getting rid of him, okay? Playing him gives him hope that he's staying, keeps his product high, keeps his PR game strong, blah, blah, blah. Now, let's say that we get £20 million for Mesut Ozil. Mkhitaryan, let's say we get £20 million for him. Mohamed El Neni, let's say we get £5 million for him. All of a sudden, that's now another £45 million. All of a sudden, you can now buy 6 £30 million footballers, okay? So, listen, whether it's £45 million or not is irrelevant. It can fund more than £45 million worth of footballers. Now, I see something the other day as well about the Emirates deal that kicks in this summer coming. That's going to be another £13 million to Arsenal Football Club every year, okay? The club level, I don't know if anybody knows this, but Arsenal have, around the club level, all the way around the stadium, they've started at the North Bank and the East Stand, I think it is, and they're adding more seats, okay? So they're actually doing that all the way around the stadium, so we end up having more seats in our stadium than Tottenham have in their stadium. All quite petty, but it's a revenue stream. That is going to generate us, by having an extra 800 club level seats, £5 to £8 million a year. Add in the new Premier League TV deal, that's more money. Add in the fact that we've got the Adidas deal kicking in at £30 million a year. Anyone who thinks Arsenal are going to spend £45 million in the summer, come on, seriously. And then if you add into that the fact that last season we didn't have Champions League and we spent £68 million. I think we actually spent 75 or 73 million and recouped 5-6 million, whatever it was, right? So we spent more money last season than we're apparently going to spend this season or this summer coming up. Yet our revenue is going to go up from, well, I'll give you one more example. 2016-17 season, we spent £90 million net, 90 million. Our revenue that season, there or thereabouts from the website I've took it from, was £410 million, right? Our revenue next season, if we're in the Europa again, is going to be £430 million because we've lost a bit of revenue because we're not in the Champions League, etc., etc. But our revenue will still go up because of the deals kicking in. Obviously, the wage bill has gone up. I get that. But with the players I listed a minute ago, our wage bill is going to drop massively in the summer with players going out, especially if we get Ozil off the wage bill as well, okay? Now, if we make Champions League, our revenue is not going to be £440 million. It's going to be £470 million. So this idea that we're only going to have £45 million, that's all we can spend, and people think that that's only going to go on one player and we have to pay it all up front, is so far from the truth, it is unbelievable. And this is what I'm saying about journalists. Take everything they say with a pinch of salt, okay? Because all they want to do is get a clickbait story out there to scaremonger people into going, oh, fucking hell, it's all doom and gloom. And I'll give you another example. Raheem Sterling. When Raheem Sterling burst onto the scene, they built him up and built him up and built him up. Now he's up here. They want to smash the fuck out of him and knock him down. They've done it with Wayne Rooney. They've done it with David Beckham. They've done it with loads and loads of footballers over the years. They're scum. Ignore everything they fucking say, okay? Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be right here, but when you analyse all the facts and the figures, selling some of the players that are coming towards the end of their career at Arsenal, plus the ones that are leaving on a free anyway, add all the wage bill up that's going to be walking out the club, add in the 45 million, which I've just shown pays for at least 3 players on £30 million on 80 grand a week, we're going to do at least £100 million in the summer, and I am fully convinced by that. Now, one more thing I will say before I wrap this video up. Let's assume we do only spend £45 million. If we can go and buy 2 centre-backs of the quality and calibre of the defensive midfielder in Torreira that we signed for 20 million quid, would anyone be having the ump over that? Seriously, because I wouldn't. But make your own minds up. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think I'm chatting shit. Let me know if you think I've explained it properly. Let me know what your thoughts are on Stan Kroenke. Leave everything in the comment section down there. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Share the content around. Let's build this channel up to 10k. I'm just trying to put a bit of perspective on it, because I've seen for over 24 hours now, everyone going in meltdown, everyone trying to scapegoat the owner, everyone trying to scapegoat this person, that person. Everyone's having a meltdown because John Cross, and I can't remember the other fucking journalist's name, put a shit story out there that's clickbait without any logic or any substance behind it, apart from Arsenal got 45 million quid, that's all they've got. So then everyone goes, oh, fucking hell, where's all the money going? It genuinely is not like that. Anyway, I'm out of here. Laters, peeps.